Hello everyone, once again to my channel SucceedEng. First of all, this video is for anyone who wants to improve his spoken English skills. It is for anyone who wants some help with his sentence formation abilities. You'll be learning things that I myself have found very useful to communicate effectively in English. Also, if you know how to speak Hindi, all the better, because you will surely be able to connect with the content that I have designed. Consider this a free course in spoken English communication. We'll start with subject and its forms. Okay, so what is a subject? To know the subject in a sentence, just ask who or what. Let's look at some examples. Students read. It is good to know. Now, we can ask who reads, and the answer will be students. So clearly in the first sentence, students is the subject. Similarly, what is good? And the answer to that will be it is good. And thus in the second sentence, it is the subject. We'll be learning a lot of things about sentence formation in this video and in the videos to come. And I believe that this singular ability to be able to identify the subject in a sentence will be crucial towards your ability to construct sentences effectively. Let's now look at the usage of everyone and each. So, is there a difference between each and everyone? Here is the thing. Both each and everyone mean har koi in Hindi. But when referring to two or more, we use each. And when referring to three or more, we use everyone. For example, we have 5 friends. Every one of them is helpful. And we have 2 friends. Each of them is nice. It'll be wrong to interchange the two. If you say we have 5 friends, each of them is helpful, or we have 2 friends, every one of them is nice, you will end up with an incorrect sentence. Let's look at the usage of all now. So is there a difference between all are well and all is well? So all can mean sab kuch and sab koi in Hindi. If the meaning is sab kuch, then the verb will always be singular, meaning that when you say all is well, you're referring to items. You're referring to things. And the verb that is most suited for an expression implying or meaning sab kuch is the singular verb, as seen in the second sentence, all is well. But if you mean something like sab log or har koi, it's better that you use a plural verb, as in case of the first sentence, all are well. Now, let's look at another concept which is related with nothing, something, or something or the other. So, kuch nahi is translated as nothing. For example, there is nothing here. Kuch is translated as something. For example, there is something here. And kuch na kuch is translated as something or the other. For example, something or the other is sure to happen today. Let's have a look now at the usage of someone and anyone. So the Hindi word koi refers to some person. When koi refers to some person, its translation is someone or somebody. For example, someone or somebody sings. If koi refers to koi bhi or any person, then the translation will be anyone or anybody. For example, anyone can sing. The usage of neither and none. So is there a difference between neither is good, none is good? दो में से कोई नहीं, or when referring to two in the negative sense, we use neither. बहुत में से कोई नहीं, or when referring to more than two, we use none. So in the first sentence, we can see that the reference is to two items. You could say neither of these clothes is suitable, or you may say neither of these people are correct. But if you're saying none, you are talking about many at the same time. So none of you is right, or none of the people were selected. Let's look at the usage of neither and none in a bit more detail. Let's have some examples. So he has 2 daughters, neither is good. I have 5 sons, none is good. That makes it more apparent and more easy to understand, doesn't it? The usage of none. So none can be used for both living and non-living items. For example, no one of the two parts is safe can also be written as none of the two parts is safe. Let's now look at the usage of either and anyone. So the Hindi word koi ek is translated as either when referring to two. For example, he has 2 candidates, either of them is here. बहुत में से कोई एक is translated as anyone. For example, there are 5 representatives, any one of them will come. Let's look at the usage of else. Sometimes with koi, kya and kuch, or is attached. So for those of you who speak Hindi, you have heard people saying koi or, kya or kuch or. So we often find ourselves saying koi और आ रहा है, क्या और कुछ चाहिए, कुछ और मदद. We say that in Hindi. So for such or, we use else in the English language. For example, there is no one else at the hotel. I require nothing else from you. Who else went with you yesterday? What else can you ask for? Okay, a very simple exercise now. I want you to pause the video here and try to correct these sentences. Okay, assuming that you have done that, let's look at the answers. Okay, moving on now. Let's look at adjective as subject. Like we discussed before, that we're looking at subject and its different forms. So use the before the adjective if an adjective is the subject in a sentence. For example, the rich and the poor have an equal right to vote. Something that is to be noted here, I'm sorry, I will go back to the previous slide. Something that is to be noted here is that we should not make the mistake of using s or es with the adjective in such sentences to make them appear to be plural. So the fact that we are talking about many rich men or many poor people, we are not required to use s or es. Simply using the article the shows that we are referring to the whole class of rich people or the whole class of poor people, making these almost like common nouns. Okay, let's look at infinitive and gerund as subject. First of all, I'm not going to get into the technical explanation of what is an infinitive and gerund, but just to give a brief idea, infinitive has a to attached to it. For example, to walk, to play, and a gerund has an ing attached to it. For example, walking and playing. Okay, let's see it work in a sentence. So, a few examples of infinitive and gerund as subject. So, to walk is a part of my daily routine. Playing in the park has become rare for today's kids due to mobile phones. Something to be noted here is that sentences with infinitives can also be made by using it in the sentence. So, to walk is a part of my daily routine can also be translated as it is a part of my daily routine to walk. And playing in the park has become rare for today's kids due to mobile phones, or to play in the park has become rare for today's kids due to mobile phones can also be written as it has become rare for today's kids to play in the park due to mobile phones. Let's look at a few sentences without subject. Now, here I'm referring to some specific Hindi phrases. So sometimes in Hindi we use expressions such as आशा है or लगता है or डर है. So in such sentences, the subject, it, is hidden. And therefore, the translation for such phrases of Hindi are: it is hoped, it seems, it is feared. Let's look at a few more examples. So if the sentence is आश्चर्य है, you can say it is surprising. If it is सुना है, you can say it is heard. If it is कहा जाता है, you can say it is said. If it is दुख है, you can say it is sad. If it is afsos hai, you can say it is regretted. And we hear that all the time, don't we? It is regretted. Inconvenience or anything else that might be getting caused by someone. Okay, so that's it, folks, for this video. Thank you so much for watching.